Cops kill a 20-year-old over pizza and Pokémon cards. I kid you not. This happened in Florida. Let's put up the picture of the young man they killed. Keep his picture up. Police in Osceola, Florida, killed a 20-year-old and injured another in a Target parking lot for theft of Pokémon cards and pizza. The young man you're looking at, his name was Jayden Baez. Jayden was killed. He was fatally shot by officers following a theft committed by two other young men while he and another sat in his car in the store parking lot. He stole nothing, okay? Investigators said two teenagers, ages 18 and 19, stole pizza and some Pokémon cards from a Target and then got into that young man's car. The deputies had been doing training near the Target, and according to the sheriff, saw the young man's car and thought it was suspicious because the tag was obscured. The sheriff claims deputies learned two of the men, Joseph Lowe and Michael Gomez, had been stealing Pokémon cards and pizza from the Target. The officers pursued the young man's car in unmarked vehicles. No body cameras were worn at the time of the shooting. Let me give you some background. The sheriff said, as a result, this is the sheriff talking, his deputies used their vehicles, unmarked vehicles, to block in the young man's car. Sheriff Marcos Lopez won't say yet exactly why his deputies opened fire, but he claims the man who was killed, Jayden Baez, accelerated his car toward the deputies, ramming four of their vehicles and causing one deputy to jump out of the way in fear of his life. We have no corroborating information for that. Baez was shot and killed by deputies. Put his picture up again. He was shot and killed by deputies. Pizza, Pokémon cards, unmarked vehicles chasing them for pizza and Pokémon cards. 19-year-old Joseph Lowe, who was accused of stealing, he got his finger shot off. Put his picture up. That's Joseph after the shooting. Why was he shot? He was shot because he put his hands up. Yeah, he put his hands up, okay? Attorney for Lowe and Baez's family said not only was the driver killed on the spot, from what we understand, by a hail of bullets, but Joseph Lowe, 19-year-old Joseph Lowe, put his hands up, is the attorney's proclamation. The sheriff's office, they continue to deflect responsibility. The family's attorney, they plan to file a multi-million-dollar lawsuit, and they should. Let's put up a picture of the sheriff. Okay, there he is. That's the county sheriff, Sheriff Lopez. All right, damn shame. You got to think about this, all right? If we sit back and we're not outraged by the death of a 20-year-old, then a teenager getting basically his hands shot off, had his hands up, and questionable reasons as to why this happened. They're not being transparent with the investigation. None of their body cameras were activated. They're all in unmarked cars. Listen, just because someone may deserve to see a judge does not mean they deserve to see their maker. According to the evidence presented by the cops, the young man wasn't even part of theft. And is capital punishment the response of theft? Should people die because of stealing? This is insanity. This is ridiculous. We're gonna continue to follow this story. I'm waiting for this lawsuit to drop so we can get more information. One thing about lawsuits is this: once you file a lawsuit, you can get people on deposition. Now you can get those cops to testify under oath as to what happened. And I hope that's exactly what will go down. So many of these suits get settled. That's why you don't hear that on record or sworn testimony, because they try to settle it before cops have to actually testify in these particular suits. And once again, there's no talk of any criminal investigation into these cops. That needs to change now. There needs to be an investigation immediately. All right, Ben, thoughts here.
Yeah, I have a hypothesis, right? George Floyd, the police officers that killed George Floyd, they were doing training. Another instance, right? Another young man who was 20 years old was killed in Minneapolis. The police officers, they were doing training, right? And he got killed over having an air freshener in his car, right? And now you have police officers who are in training, killing these young kids who are just, stealing pizza and Pokemon cards. Are you kidding me? So here's my hypothesis. This is the training. That's my hypothesis. This is the training. This is the police officers that have been around for a while, going out of their way to show the new police officers, hey, this is what you can get away with. This is what you can do. That's my hypothesis. Because at this point, this is such a trend, you'd think that if you're training somebody, you'd be extra careful to make sure exactly that you're teaching people what the rules are. And I think that's exactly what they were doing. I think that they were training these new police officers exactly what the rules are. Like in some sense, it's like a gang initiation where you tell somebody to go kill somebody to say like, oh, this is what we do here. Right? That is what it seems like here with these law enforcement officers bringing people in saying, all right, well, we're doing training, so we have to go commit some sort of horrific act of violence against somebody that very obviously does not deserve it. And to be clear, nobody deserves violence from the police, right? If somebody is guilty, that's for a judge to decide.
That's right.